Well, hello everyone. Welcome to HoDiGa's Tarot. Hello there. Hello
Well,
there.
it's Hoga Day today.
Yeah. Hoga Day. Yeah. I love that. So as you will see, it is the three of us today, and unfortunately, as we know, our dear Dianne, those sinuses of hers are playing up again. Now she's probably left a message on her community channel, as she would normally do. But of course, without going into too much detail, because it's a personal thing. But basically, they're playing up, and she gets nausea, and it's just not good. Yeah, it's just very, very difficult for her. But as you've had us here both before, so we are back.
Yeah, so just send good energy to Dianne today. She needs
Exactly. Let's send good energy to Dianne today, because it's just a very difficult thing. It's like, as you guys saw, like my eyes were playing up. They're now back to normal, thank God. Just about. And by the way, I've just come from a wedding party, by the way, because you've got to remember, I'm a few hours ahead in the UK, and Saturday obviously is a going out day. And so I wanted to say a quick shout out to my friends Richard and Karen for renewing, was celebrating their 10th year anniversary.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, so it was a big hoo-ha, and it was brilliant. We had a lot of fun, and we were down on these cricket grounds, and we had lots to drink and all of that kind of stuff. So if my eyes aren't looking quite as bright and shiny as usual, it's not because they're not better. It's because I've been enjoying myself. Let's put it that way.
Having a little of that.
I know. Well, it's a wedding thing. And it seems like, obviously Saturday is a going out day, but it does seem a lot of my Saturdays of late have been rather entertaining. But we see the chat room is filling up. So before we begin, let's see who has joined us here tonight, Ganga. And we really appreciate you being here tonight. So who do we have? We've got Nini Girl, Nancy Vrebra, Annalie Finch. We have got, what's it? Sherry H. Voices from the Swamp. That's a great one. Oh, I'm loving that. Voices from the Swamp. And of course, all of you are chatting in the chat, which is great. Bronx Sage, Spirits Beyond the Stars. So nice to see you back. Let's see. We've got Melda, Bronx Sage, pardon me, and many more who are coming into the studio. So thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
Right. So one of the things, and also as well, guys, feel free to volunteer questions. Put forward some questions. There's been a lot that's been happening of late, but I would say, would you agree, Ganga, or Lady G, that it's been a bit quieter, would you say? Or how's the news been for you in the USA and globally?
Yeah, it seems a bit quieter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as much. Although I did love the Trump thing the other day when he's telling everybody, don't vote on 22 or 24. I'm like, yes, go Trump. That's it. Rally the troops. I think it's a great idea.
This guy. What can we say about Trump that's not already been said? I just find it extraordinary, and he's so incredibly petulant and unusual, and now he's basically saying don't vote because it's all about him, as we know.
Exactly.
It's all about him. It's not. Oh, look at that! I've just split the deck. Look at that.
There he is.
There he is. I've just split the deck.
Yes, now. And I split it, and I got La La Land. Okay.
Oh, there you are. Exactly. The cuckoo. Great.
With his offer for them, don't vote.
Do you know what? Because this guy, let's end the show. Let's end the show with Trump. With Duck L'Orange. Just to see what's going on with this guy, because he is so all over the place. He's utterly unpredictable, and the GOP should know by now. Do not endorse this guy. He is just a stab in the back. He's just anyway. You just can't.
The ozones.
Oh, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Just absolutely ridiculous. So today we're gonna, oh, look at this. Oh, so interesting. Some of the cards that are even just dropping out. Now, there is, so guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the comments for anything, but we're going to cover a few today. Now, one of the things I wanted to look at is, as you know, I've been talking about the planets and their transits and stuff like that. And Saturn started moving direct on the 11th of October. Now, isn't it interesting? Do you remember I said Saturn was putting a block because he was retrograde looking at Libra, which is the legal profession. And I said, we're going to see some kind of movement, some kind of things going forward, maybe not a massive rush, but some movement. And hasn't it been interesting with those kind of the subpoenas that were handed down, Steve Bannon and all that stuff, who's someone else who is just utterly ridiculous. But I wanted to ask a slightly different question, and it's sort of connected with Saturn. Now, Saturn's season is winter. He deals with the cold months of the year, and he's got a lot to do with, COVID and all this kind of stuff. Now, they say when Saturn is in his own signs, because he's in sidereal Capricorn, and then after that, he's going to be in Aquarius. Saturn gets his planets back to back. And he can give very harsh winters, but sometimes unusual winters. So if we remember with Texas, with the fans that were thrown up. Now, I think it would be interesting for us to have a read on winter in America and then read on winter in the wider world. Because I feel we might have a real Arctic plunge this year. We could have like epic snow, where there's so much snow it just like collapses buildings and stuff, or freezing temperatures, even Texas, you never know, could get another plunge this year. So let's pull on winter in America and then winter in the wider world, because I like to keep it internationally. Okay, so winter. Oh, card just jumped out.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. All right. Winter in America. What's winter in America going to be like this year? And if we see swords, which we know is the air element, then that would confirm that it will probably be quite a cold one. If I get lots of wands, or if we get wands, that would imply it'd be warmer, because wands is fire. Earth would suggest, pentacles would suggest stable. And water, of course, would suggest a wet winter. Yeah. Would suggest a wet winter. So let's see what we get. All right, winter in the USA this year. And how are things with like the homelessness stuff as well, Lady Gigi? Do you have any update on that? Because I know that rent moratorium and mortgage, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's really bad everywhere. And when they let go of that memorial thing on it, it's going to get even worse.
Wow.
They need to do something about it. They've got people trying to live in tents and motorhomes, and they just keep tearing them down. And where are the people going to go? What do they think they're going to do?
Yeah,
people are living in their car, and they tell them you can't live in your car. Well, where do you want them to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of my worries is, and this has been something that's been brewing in my mind for a little while, because I know Saturn is very strong when he's in his own signs. And I'm thinking, what if, you have a record number of people made homeless, for example, and then you get an absolutely cruel winter? Then what? Are they going to let people freeze in the streets? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, how's that going to work? So would you like me to pull first?
Sure.
Or are you ready?
Be my guest. Absolutely.
No problem. All right. So I'm going to actually do a little bit of camera bring down. Let's see if it doesn't mess up the whole thing. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. My camera's just frozen. I should not touch anything. Oh, dear. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Ah!
No,
Mercury.
you're not frozen on here. You look fine. It's just
Oh, okay.
frozen on your end, so we're good.
All right. So basically, I've totally frozen on my end. And as you know, folks, Mercury retrograde. And each year, my Mercury retrogrades get more and more challenging. So I've just frozen on my side. And let's hope that that it unfreezes. Because it's like I'm flying blind. But anyway, I'll just pretend that I can see myself. Mm. So here,
moving.
I know, because I'm in my screen, I am totally frozen, and I'm just like, oh man, Mercury, please give me a break, brother. Anyway, so if we look here, so the question was about winter, and if we look here, I've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now, when the Ten of Pentacles is the right way up, it means what? Family money, doesn't it? Family. Yeah. Money, legacy. This can mean corporate money as well. It's about investments and legacies and stuff like that. When it's reversed, this can suggest arguments about money, arguments about family support and legacy and all of that kind of stuff. So that does make me think, maybe there could be a bit of a challenge when it comes to families and stuff like that. And how they're distributing their funds, which in a way would make sense, wouldn't it? Because a lot of that stimulus, a lot of those checks, pardon me, will likely have stopped. But in the obstacle position, I'm really hoping my computer is going to free up, because I find it very, very strange. In the obstacle position, we've got the Three of Cups, which is about celebration. Of course, what's winter is obviously the season of Christmas and Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So here, but it's come in the obstacle position. So it looks like, oh, I think the camera's catching up slowly but surely. So it looks like here, there could be an issue. There could be an issue here when it comes for, because if you look here, this is a card about coming together.
Right.
So maybe there might be something where there could be elements of coming together, could be a challenge. I'm just going to actually close down some windows actually, and that might actually help free up my computer a bit.
That might help.
So so that does concern me a little bit. Everyone is obviously going to be keen to celebrate, but this suggests that, you know, maybe getting together may not be so easy this year. Oh, now it's starting to catch up a little bit. And then the next card I get is the Three of Pentacles. So already we're noticing pentacles and water. So maybe it might already be a bit of a wetter winter, but let's see what else comes out. So here, the Three of Pentacles is about family and it's about collaboration. So what this is suggesting is that people are really going to have to pull together this year. This winter in particular, people are going to have to kind of share their resources, coordinate, all of that kind of stuff. Maybe because of the challenges, maybe because of those stimulus checks not being there, maybe because of the rent and stuff like that. Here we have our first cold card. So here I've got the King of Swords. So, but it's come later on in the reading. Do you know, it's come later on in the reading. So it could be maybe the cold snap comes in sort of January, February, or maybe even March, something like that. And then my final outcome card, I have got the Nine of Pentacles, but reversed. So here now, when it's the right way up, of course, this is talking about the hostess with the mostess. This is about luxury. This is about comfort. This is about having everything that you need. So if it's reversed, that could imply that, you know, there is that element of potentially of lack. It could be, for example, maybe just this year, it's, you know, the shelves won't be as well stocked.
Yeah,
that makes sense, because this is the lady that has everything. And as we know, I mean, in a way, you could say, well, that's deductive logic and on a certain level, because yes, we've got the supply chain issues already, but it is showing up. So what I'm getting is that it could be winter, could be standard for a while. There could be some like torrential downpours or stuff like that, because this is a water card. But really, this is more about people feeling challenged to get together. People are going to have to pull together more this year to support each other in a sense of community and upliftment. Winter, as we would recognize it, could come a bit later this year, but I think when it does come, it could be quite harsh. The King of Swords is you know, it's when it's the right way up, it's a positive card. But considering that we've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed in terms of the outcome, it suggests that, you know, it may not be so great. People may not have everything that they need. What did you get, Lady G?
Well, I hope you're wrong about that late winter. My daughter's wedding is February in Disneyland outside.
Oh my goodness.
So, let's hope that's wrong.
So, me too.
Yeah. So first thing I have out is my card for America. And above it, maybe
because I can't see it.
Yes, America. And so we may have to release some things and kind of work together. I'm getting a lot of that as far as long-term benefits. Above it, the storms are coming, and if you want to be happy, you had best be planning and taking measures, long-term measures, because people are going to have a little bit of a difficult time. They're going to be, you know, and some of them are going to be wondering, why is this happening? And again, we need to work together on climate change and getting things together for people. We have the Magicians, so possibly wet, big change. And so people are going to have to come together and get smart on what they're doing. And the last card is about balance, having balance, because they're going to find themselves in unfamiliar territory. And they're going to have to take charge, you know, bite the bullet and take charge. So it's just the whole thing is telling me, look, people, we need to work together. We need to figure things out. We need to get things together for long term, and we need to start doing it now before it sneaks up on you.
Wow. I mean, that's really interesting, and that's sort of like echoing. It was echoing my cards as well. Okay, so let's read on winter for the wider world, because of course we always like to try and keep things international, because as though, even though America has had tons of drama and many things are newsworthy, there are of course other countries.
Are there other places in the world that exist other than America? Oh my.
Well, I mean, you're a sage. I mean, you've spent years in India and other places. So, you know, just in case anyone doesn't know, Lady G is very well traveled, but particularly has spent a significant time in India and its culture and stuff like that. And I always think that is a very, very useful and worthwhile thing to do. I'm just getting my pictures slowly catching up. It's just ridiculous. Mercury retrograde, folks, you know, you can see me just fine, but honestly, my computer is really having a bit of a seizure right now. All right, so let's look at winter for the wider world. Winter, what does Saturn have in store for the wider world? And let's see.
I hope you've got better cards than I do. That's all I can say.
Oh, really? Oh, there's a donation that's coming, but I can't even click on it because my camera's frozen. So if anyone's been donating anything like that, we say thank you so much. I'll try and acknowledge you once my screen unfreezes. But if it doesn't, thanks anyway. I can't see any of the chat, nothing. It's all frozen. But anyway, do you want to go first then, Lady G? Because your cards come up quite quickly.
That's it. Put me on the hot seat. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
First thing we have is 10 of Swords.
Oh dear.
Yeah. This is
I don't even need to see that.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to see that, especially as a first thing. So yeah, heavy winter pain, Not good for people. The challenge is, again, the King of Swords.
Wow.
Yeah,
Back.
strong cold, strong cold.
Cold. Yeah, that's air. That's the element of air. That suggests cold. You've got two
Yeah,
swords
cold,
already.
cold in the, yeah. And so people are going to have to use some strength, put some energy out there, because
Mm.
they are going to be what? Dominated by the cold, the situation, domination by the cold. And they're going to be needing handouts.
Wow.
That is not good.
Wow.
That is just, ooh. So Europe, get ready. And
Mm.
yeah, it's going to be a tough one in Europe, it looks like. And I hope that my cards are 180 degrees wrong. But
Also, as well, you know what just came into my mind as well? Russia.
yeah,
Maybe, maybe Russia could have a very cold winter this year. I mean, Siberia has been mild, so that could be a
yeah,
problem.
that could be swinging back the other way.
Swinging back,
Yeah,
yeah, could swim back the other way. They are due. They do. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to refreeze Siberia, but the weather does tend to go a bit on a pendulum. When I close my eyes, I just get seeing just lots of snow,
and I'm
particularly
getting
like
lots of ice. I'm getting
oh, are
freeze.
you?
I'm getting, yeah,
Mm.
I'm getting freezing ice in a lot of areas.
Wow. Okay. Do you have anything to add before
Oh
before?
God, no, I don't want to look at anything else. That was bad enough.
Well, look what I've got. So here we are. We've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And we all know the Queen of Pentacles, there she is, looking at that coin. Yeah, looking
Yeah,
at that coin. And it deals with hearth and home and all that stuff. And look, it's come up reversed. So we just know immediately there are people that are going to be worrying about their sense of security, perhaps in the wider world, maybe because of, weather events. Now,
yeah,
what I find interesting here is as well, because we also as well, the pentacles represent earth. And here for me, and like the Queen of Pentacles represents the home and earth, I'm thinking like, could there be more earthquakes this year? I know that's not winter, but I think there could maybe be more things like earthquakes, particularly with Uranus is squaring Saturn, and it's going to be having a big square towards the end of the year.
yeah,
So that could be maybe something that's coming through as well. But it also definitely shows people are concerned about their security. I mean,
right.
basically for the UK, because we got this travel crisis, and because of Brexit, everyone got sent home, which was, a bit silly, and no one wants to come back, even we
Yeah,
got the visas. I said to everyone that I accept this decision, but could be beans on toast this year, or maybe not turkey, but perhaps turkey sausages.
there you go. Well, the minute you show that card, I could just see the coin falling, that people are trying to hang on to their resources, but it's going. And as far as the earthquakes, yeah, they have that volcano that's just
Mm.
going and going and going over, what is, Canary Islands or something like
Yeah,
that.
Canary
It's
Islands.
still, and so all of those are linked. All of the
Mm.
volcanoes are linked across the world underneath of there. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that there's going to be earthquakes and things happening.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. There's definitely something going on there, because she
Yeah,
is an earth card and she deals with stability. And then when the obstacle card, where you can see here swords, so again that's the element of air, so it's like, oh, that could be something to do with winter. And also as well, what's interesting is over a lake, but it came out reversed for me. So it's almost like people are trying to get away, move to smoother waters,
yeah,
which is what this card is well known for. But there is some kind of obstacle. So it could be, when I tune in with this, it's like maybe people in mountainous or lake areas, because with this card as well, there is, well, actually, it's more hilly, but maybe there could be people around lake areas and stuff like that, where they get an extra kind of cold chill. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of Chicago, the windy town.
that's where my daughter lives.
You're joking.
Not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Oh my
In this
God.
really tall building that's, yeah.
Because that's what I got. I just got, well, I just said it, didn't I? I was getting
Yeah.
Chicago. Oh my goodness. There could be a plunge. I mean, sorry to give you that news.
Can you give me any better news?
Sorry, I mean, I was just going with, I just heard Chicago. I just heard Chicago.
Oh my God. Yeah. And where she lives is really up high in this building. And yeah, it's
Could be
like,
a snow in. Yeah, could be a snow in this year.
yeah.
So maybe it might be worth her while spending a bit of time with you in New Mexico, because if there is a plunge, I don't think it's going to reach that far. But I'm just, that's what I got. That's what I got. And then if we look here, we have, of course, the Four of Wands, which is about the happy home, etc., and all that kind of stuff. But when we put this together, because I was thinking about potentially about earthquakes, you know, very chill plunges, which of course could affect people's homes.
Yeah.
That's one of the obvious things. But it could also be as well those that are able to kind of be together at Christmas. I think they are going to be enjoy being together. And I think they're really going to appreciate it. If we look here, more swords, but unfortunately reversed. So again, that's also a cold plunge. So there's going to be certain countries in the world where I think they're going to be affected. In particular, I think it will be a cold winter overall, but there's going to be some countries that just get an extreme, something weird.
You know what I feel with that too, when you have those together, that you really need to make sure that your home is stable. Make sure your foundations and everything are good, because if they have a heavy snow or ice or something, they could have problems with their homes.
Yeah, there could be collapse, because the
Exactly.
home card has come up. I mean, literally, as we know, this is the home card, and
Exactly.
there is that worry. And in terms of the global response to this extreme weather, I'm not sure it's going to be great, because look at that, stinky fish comes out,
Stinky fish.
which means a poultry offer. I mean, it's news. I mean, all the pages deal with news, and this can be surprises. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of wisdom there. A little bit of yeah.
Exactly. So when I look at that, I'm like, little bit sketch. I wish I could be more positive on that, but there's going to be some surprises. But I think winter will strike later in the season for America. But there's going to be some places where there's going to be some real extremes and something weird, and particularly people that live near bodies of water and stuff like that. And we need to watch out for the old earthy quakies as well. Unfortunately, Uranus doing his thing. So we got those answered. I hope you've recovered after that reading.
Oh, I'm going to tell my daughter to take a heavy coat for her wedding, because she's supposed to be out there doing the bridal pictures at 6 a.m. in the morning.
It's going to be freezing.
I know. I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my, bridal pictures at 6 a.m.
Because it's at Disneyland and they got to do it before it opens.
Of course. I mean, will the sun even be up? I mean, the dress is going to be standing on its own, because you know, is she going as Elsa? You know.
Oh God, no! You don't even want to see her dress. My daughter was a fetish model. Okay, so her dress is rubber, and it's a very low back, very fitted, beautiful. But in that ice cold weather.
Right, she needs to get a fresh colored body sock going, because if these cards are right, you know, I mean, it could be that she'll pose for her wedding shots, and she won't be able to move, because, you know, she would have been, you know, frozen in. Oh goodness, no, you know what she should do? It's just come to me. You can get, you know, those heat patches.
Yeah.
She will need heat patches under her armpits.
Yeah.
In the back of her dress, even in the brassiere and the corset as well.
Yeah.
She will. She cannot stand there in cold Wait, I know is it Florida that she's going to?
No, it's California. Southern California is where Disneyland is. You're
Right.
thinking of Disney World. No, Disneyland.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, let's hope that she gets some warm weather, but the weather's going to be unpredictable. I can certainly say that. There may be a shocker, yeah,
I
come
agree.
February.
I agree. Now I'm going to tell her you need to take a nice big heavy fur coat and wear it between pictures. So
Absolutely, and you wouldn't want her to catch any cold or anything like that, because the world's weather is becoming so unpredictable now. Anyway, you can't really rely on these things, and particularly when Saturn's strong, places that are normally warm get very cold. So that could include Southern California. Okay, so linking in with that, dovetailing in with that, I wanted to talk about energy in America and then energy in the wider world. Because if we remember with Texas and that whole, what we would say, debacle,
yes,
yeah, that was an absolute debacle. And now everyone's getting these huge bills, but also as well in the UK and the wider world, we're talking about hydrogen. Like we've got some factories and stuff that can literally make hydrogen from water. We're looking at changing our whole systems over. The UK is actually doing quite well, actually. Even China is doing better in terms of renewables, but of course they've got they've got billions of people. But I was thinking, so let's look at the energy situation in America, because it does seem to be a bit sketch, particularly with all of this infrastructure that needs to happen. So I thought we should pull on that.
Oh, yeah.
Energy. What's energy going to be like in
And
America?
of course, we have our wonderful person that's putting the kibosh on the energy, that stuff that Biden wants to do.
Oh, honestly, these people are, I'm almost running out of words. It's so ridiculous. I really just struggle to that this is being entertained. I think these people really need arresting now, because this is just obstruction. They're actually harming their own citizens. It's just ridiculous.
Well, this is supposed to be a Democrat too.
Oh, even worse.
It's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse.
Oh, even worse. Even worse. Because I really do feel like we don't want to be in a situation where we have an energy situation in America coming together with people being out on the streets and a cold plunge.
Yeah.
That's just not good. Really not good. And it could happen. Let's see here. Energy in America. Are you ready to go? I'm still pulling.
First card we have is about, our usual typical people that are out for the money.
What have you got? Have you got the Ace of Pentacles or something, or something else?
King of Pentacles, people out for money. And then we get, you who shall not be named, Mr. 45, that's got all of his people and drama still going on.
Yeah.
And so the challenge is them trying to get away with it, trying to put the kibosh on anything to do with energy, as usual. So what we have next is the hidden things behind the scenes. They keep trying to put the kibosh on it. But we do have some new energy. I think Biden's going to get the club out.
Right.
Okay? And he's going to go over their heads with stuff, because we do have some new direction in place coming out. So they're going to try it. They're going to try to, of course, do everything they can to quash it. But it is going to go forward, but we're going to have a little bit of a battle getting it going.
Wow. Do you have any more cards, or is that your?
No, that was it. The 5.
Okay. Right. So in terms of energy, so we covered winter, America, and the wider world, and now we're talking about energy. Now look at this card that I've got. Oh dear.
Oh.
So that's literally kind of like being out in the cold. I mean, when it's the right way up, it can feel out of the cold, strapped for cash, money, etc. But when it's reversed, it actually intensifies the energy of that card. And that's literally feeling like you are about to be made destitute, literally.
Yeah.
Like, and I wish it were a more positive card, but it does show, you know, spirit is listening in, because this is what a lot of people are facing in America right now, and in other places in the world, but in America in particular, because we are pulling on America in this particular one. And that is worrying. That is worrying, and there does need to be positive change. And I so wish I could see the comments and stuff coming down the side, but I'm still frozen on this side. How appropriate. We're talking about winter and things freezing. So, and then my second card, the obstacle, in the obstacle position is actually justice. So that makes me worry a little bit as well, because it's like, does that mean people are not going to get a just result or fair decisions in their favor?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think this would be fair decisions in people's favor, and maybe some elements of the government or contracts or law or something like that helping people out. But given the position of the first card and its nature, and that the justice has turned in the obstacle position, maybe there could be issues with energy and all of that kind of stuff. Or because maybe people are literally out in the cold, could this also mean there could be legal ramifications going forward, because people have been basically left destitute or left to literally freeze in the street? And then I've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. And when she's the right way, this is the socialite. This is the entrepreneurial woman as well, who's the overseer. Here, it can deal with things like sabotage, even. Not wanting others to have something for the sake of them not having it. So when we start to look at this in terms of a narrative, could it be that certain people, perhaps in the GOP, yeah, for entertainment purposes only, put people out in the cold?
Yep.
And this leads to kind of legal challenges and stuff like that, but they start sabotaging the whole thing. There could be that. And then the next card I get is the Page of Swords. And this again, well, when it's reversed, it can imply like there's an enemy in the camp, or gossip, slander, that kind of thing. But it can also deal with truth and legal battles. So we see here, we've got justice, and we've got the Page of Swords. And of course, swords is an air element.
Yes.
So there's that there. So the way I'm seeing this is that the GOP are going to be pulling some moves, maybe even some kind of legal moves that affect people's energy supply in some way. Could we be talking about Texas again or somewhere else?
Yeah.
And it will affect their businesses and their livelihoods and their ability to oversee things. And it's going to be seen as a spiteful move. And there is even more kind of legal ramifications that come forward due to the partnerships that are made, because here I've got the Two of Cups. So when I read into that, it's almost like the GOP are going to kind of side with their relationships, yeah, with maybe their energy companies, perhaps, over the benefit of ordinary people. What do you reckon?
I agree. I agree.
Gosh.
You know what happened though? When I did the reading, I looked at the cards underneath, and my cards underneath are for Europe energy.
Wow.
I turned the deck over, and it's like, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Because we've still got a little bit of a petrol crisis going on here. So let's see, because
Exactly. This is the Russia, have I got petrol for you?
yeah. They've been talking about that a lot. And also as well, Russia supplies a lot of Germany with their gas as well, you know.
Yeah.
Russia, yeah, it gives a lot of gas. And because we're having this, America's having its Pluto return, as we all know, and everyone is saying. But Pluto is in sidereal Capricorn, and that's distribution systems of all kinds, governments, even big companies, everything. So have you noticed that there are energy issues around the world, and
Yes.
also as well distribution issues around the world?
Exactly.
And so let's look at energy in the wider world and see what's going on. And we'll do that, and then let's do a poll on COP20. I think it's COP20, which is a thing being hosted in the UK, which is about taking action on global warming. So let's do energy in the wider world, and then we can look at COP20 in Glasgow, which is happening in November. How about that?
Perfect. So I've already got the cards for Europe.
Oh, okay, great.
And yeah, the first one was, of course, Putin, offering out of the goodness of his heart to to help supply the gas and the energy.
He'll be doing
But
that.
people are going to be, again, same thing, out in the cold.
Wow.
Out in the cold. It's going to be a tower moment. Very difficult. They're going to need to have some strength. There will be some deaths due to the cold and things across the world. Okay, this is going to be a bad thing. They're going to have to start working again, like I had for America, start working for long-term situations.
Balance it out.
Because this is going to be a mental burden with a lot of people, and feeling like they are being just abuse of power, abusive stuff, things not being sorted out well enough. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Wow. Well, you know what I'll share with you, Lady G, and the viewers, and this wouldn't have, I doubt it would have made American news, because it's not such, well, it is actually significant, but I doubt it would have made American news. But just to share with you all, in the UK, we really are actually having a bona fide energy crisis right now. And they say since the global wholesale price of gas has gone up so dramatically, about 9 independent energy providers in the UK have gone bust.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's bad.
About 9.
The fuel prices in Europe have been crazy to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. So we can see, like, if we think of our cards and what's been happening, what I'm worried about is that it's always a cliche, isn't it, to say the perfect storm. But what if we have that? Because if we have supply chain issues,
right,
just dealing, which is affecting things because of COVID, global supply breakdown, etc. I understand the oil price has gone up significantly. There's that. So that's going to affect global things. We also have that scenario as well, like in the UK with all of these companies going bust. And basically what they have to do is they have to rely on more secure institutions to actually provide that energy, because you can't literally have people, going without showers and stuff like that. Exactly. And if we have the similar kind of thing happening in Europe as well, I mean, this could really be something. And the astrology as well is showing, because essentially Saturn and Uranus are going to be in a square with each other. And Saturn, of course, is rules, regulation, infrastructure, all of that stuff. Yeah. Uranus is sudden shocks and surprises, the unexpected and the unusual and the sudden. So I think in terms of the cards that we've been getting, I think it's very tricky. What I get,
I hope we've got better cards than I had. That's for sure.
Mine,
yeah, maybe not.
Ish. So exactly, they're kind of meh cards. So here, to symbolize the question, energy in the wider world and all that kind of stuff. So here, the issue in many ways is patriarchy. Yeah. Because we know the emperor is the card of, patriarchy, fatherhood is representative of Aries moving forward, establishing rules and regulations and building one's own home, with wisdom and clarity and force. But he's come out reversed, which is suggesting the opposite. What this is suggesting to me is that there are a lot of men in the world that are causing significant problems because they've got an old world view. They believe that they should have things their way all the time, because this is a card of, when it's reversed, of wanting to have your own way, dismissing the needs of others, being even bullying, aggressive, shouting people down, and basically like embarrassing people, disempowering people. Because here, this is where the positive aspects become negative and tyrannical. So it's almost like there's a global tyranny. But what's the obstacle? I think they want to preserve their own luxury. And I think what's coming through here is very much these, if we think of this, of the, coal, oil, gas, all of that stuff, these guys, they don't want to change because it's making money for them. They're comfortable. They're comfortable. They don't want to go into all this new renewables and all that kind of stuff. Part of the reason why is because, again, money.
Exactly.
Now, what this also shows is there is money in renewables. Everyone knows there is, but you have these guys that are wanting to what? Hold on.
Yeah, they don't want to retool everything and redo everything. Have that layout. Yeah.
Absolutely. So here we go. We've got I was going to say, but yeah, we've got patriarchs. Here we are. Patriarchs gone rogue, who are being belligerent and stubborn and trying to force their will because they don't want to change, because it suits them just fine. There is a large amount of money, of course, at stake for them, but there's also money in renewables, but they don't want to change. They want to keep it all for themselves. And if we look here, they don't want to move forward. This is the card of moving forward to smoother waters, which of course would be investment in renewables, dam technology, wave technology. They don't want to do it. And I think that's going to cause energy problems. That could cause energy problems in the wider world. So interesting how that came out, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, they kind of dovetail into one another again.
Yeah. Into one another. So shall we take a look before let's see. Oh, wow, the time's gone so quickly. Let's do a quick pull on COP20, which is to do with global warming and all that kind of stuff. And it just all feeds in, doesn't it? Winter, energy. And let's see if that's going to be successful. Will the leaders, I think, again, it may not have made the USA news, but the Queen was overheard saying, they just talk and they don't do anything. Yeah. Isn't that interesting in regards to that? And, and normally she doesn't comment on these things, but she was overheard. So COP20 in Glasgow in November, will it be a success? Will COP20 in November be a success? All right, let's have a look. And I think what we'll do is we'll skip to Trump. Lisa Marie, just so you know, Lisa Marie, I did get your question, which was looking into the Jan 6th committee. And I've done the chart for it. But I think let's leave it till next week because it needs quite a bit of detail to explain. And we're kind of running quickly on time. Okay, COP20. If you're ready to go, Lady G, feel free.
Okay, well, what I got first thing is, about a victory,
That's good.
So we're asking about a victory. But the challenge is, you know, each of the individuals and really digging deep and investigating and being willing to spend the time for that. Because what we have is people feeling, you know, beat, people feeling leery and wary, and that, you know, things are not going well. Again, we need to have somebody step up. We need to have them actually speaking truth and standing up for the right thing. But in the end, we have temperance.
Right.
Up a little on the good side, a little on the bad side, you know, and just kind of, I was hoping it was going to be much more positive than this.
Mm.
You know, temperance in this thing, I feel, is like a wash. You know, neutrality is what I'm feeling with it. That, you know, you have those positive and we got the negatives, and by the time you balance it out, you've got a neutral wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arr.
You will not believe my cards.
Oh, please tell me they're better.
No.
No.
Not even close. So,
What
which is very disappointing.
Oh my God! What are we? The bearers of bad tidings?
I know. We're like the Grinches before Christmas, but the cards are, you know, the cards are the cards.
Well, all we've got for the stockings is coal, and we hope it helps a little bit. But, you know,
not even an orange, you know, is yeah, a lump of coal.
A lump of coal, and that's it.
Oh, well, look, I'm so sorry, folks, but I must read what I've got. So what do I say? We're asking about COP20 Glasgow. Will it be a success? Look who turns up, the false knight.
Oh, the false knight.
So here people are gonna, this could mean lip service. People might promise a lot.
Exactly.
People might promise a lot and be like, yeah, you're right. You know, we need to change things. You know, we need to sort this world out because, you know, the whole world is a combination of fire and flood and goodness knows what else. Maybe this potentially vicious winter coming could change a few minds next time. But what's the obstacle? Look at this.
No.
The devil. The devil. Yeah. Ding, dang, dang. So here we are. We've got these potentially false promises. I hope it's not the case. And it's because of what the vice is, like in that reading, the reading we did before, there's certain people that do not want to change. They are chained quite literally to the old ways because it suits them, and it's like it's an addiction. You've got people like countries almost addicted to oil, addicted to coal, ore, and all that kind of stuff. I know Australia is just being dug upside down virtually because they're just digging so much of this stuff out as well. And there's this hunger and this thirst. So we can see there, people are going to be disingenuous. They're not necessarily telling the truth. And then when we look in the other one, look, COVID turns up. My goodness. So here we are. This is often, you know, the card for COVID and stuff like that. But when this card is reversed, it also deals with sickness, you know, disease. And it shows in a way that certain leaders are sick puppies. Let's put it that way. Sick puppies. They're not well. This can deal with psychological and emotional disturbances as well. It's a little bit similar to like the mood.
Are you seeing my screen at all?
No, you've been frozen for a while. It's kind of updating.
Okay, well, let me explain the Nine of Wands in this deck. And it's the guy behind the door, peeking the door, looking, you know, kind of trying to look with the chain on the door, not coming out. So that same type of a thing, you know, hid behind doors and worried about it and kind of, you know.
Wow.
Same thing.
And you saw me shuffle the deck for ages and ages. Look who comes up again. Stinky fish. Stinky fish comes up again. So what this would suggest is there'll be news, obviously, but it's almost like it's going to be these mealy-mouthed offers.
Yeah.
people are gonna like, so on one level they're gonna be like, yeah, we'll come in, we'll do this, isn't this great, we're all here, but secretly they're like, oh, I don't want to make that change, I'm not giving up my lifestyle. And they were like, well, because of COVID, you know, we need to stick with what we know, you know, all that coal and all that stuff, because we need to recover. Yeah, we need to burn the house down. So they'll probably make some mealy-mouthed offer that doesn't mount to much. However, if there is a little ray of sunshine, look at that. So we've got the house card come back again, but it's the right way up. And this does mean celebration and, you know, the homecoming. You know, this can also deal with the collective in the sense of the home in that sense. So hopefully, maybe this is negotiations. Yeah, all of this stuff. And then maybe, I really hope, possibly it could be a positive outcome, but we'll have to see. But this energy is all going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling after this winter, when it hits and we've had so much devastation, you know, especially in Europe and overseas, that they're going to get much more concerned about it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And we've got about 4 minutes left. Shall we do a little read on 45 as Saturn moves, and then Jupiter's going to move on the 17th, folks, which is tomorrow. Let's see. It seems like he's getting a little bit more heat, but they just need to throw this guy under the bus. But shall we do a little read on Duck L'Orange?
Sure.
All right. Oh, card just jumped out. Did you see that? Card just jumped out. Oh, and it was that way. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Cycle coming to an end.
That's good.
Wow, the World card. So interesting. Literally just fell out. Wow, okay. Duck L'Orange. What is going on with Duck L'Orange? Because it seems they've turned down the flames on this guy, because he really should be flambéed right now. With all that he's done. However, because of that Saturn retrograde, as I was saying, on Libra, which is the legality and the law, and I've been saying for ages, it will all slow down. But now Saturn is going direct, and Saturn is the planet of karma. So, you know, there could be a bit more in the pipeline for 45. All right, 45. What's going on with 45? And if you're ready, pardon me, if you're ready to go, Lady G, then feel free.
Okay, well, the first card I have out is the Three of Cups. So all his lovely followers and supporters and, you know, lovers of the Trump, they're starting to have difficulties. We have the Five of Staves.
Okay, struggles, yes.
Yeah, we're starting to have some difficulties with them because the wheel is turning. Karma is coming. And so they are going to start to be in, what is this? The retreat. They're starting to be in retreat, you know, trying to find some sort of stability somewhere as new energy, new things are coming out about him. So, you know, he's going to try to keep this stability in place, but karma's coming and people are starting to cool, and they're going to start to be having the back and forth amongst themselves a little.
Wow.
Yes.
Fascinating. So are you good? Shall I read my? These cards, honestly, the thing is, what I would say is this: the good thing on reading on 45 Duck L'Orange is that the cards are almost always emphatic and unambiguous.
Yes,
he's an easy read. Let me tell you, Trump is an easy read. Look at this. So, in terms of dealing with him, what's happening with Trump? Look, delusional. Yeah. Absolutely delusional.
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island, you know, Fruit Loop, you know, you know, loco, yeah, cray cray. What is this obstacle? Yeah, it's about luck. How many times has this card come up for me? The false knight with his false message, with his big lie. Yeah, with his big lie. But it seems the powers that be, and this could be perhaps be a little bit of karmic energy coming in from Saturn, because look what comes in. The big chop. Yeah, so here we see the king trampled underfoot, and there you've got, you know, people pleading for. So this is again the ending of a cycle, because remember the card that dropped out was the world card. Yeah, encapsulating everything. So the cards are reaffirming again. So what I think is maybe this delusion is starting to lift, because people are starting to recognize this false narrative. And it's like, maybe not everyone, but it's like some people have gotten trampled underfoot. And for Dr. Orange, you know, for 45, look, there are decisions to be made. Yeah, decisions to be made. And he's really trying to weigh things up, and it's very difficult. And he's trying to do what? He's trying to avoid a legal situation. But look, it's female. It's the Queen of Swords.
And we know how well he does with females.
Indeed. So when I look at this, I'm thinking like, and also as well, swords tend to do with lighter eyes and lighter hair. So for me, this is a little bit of Liz Cheney, you know. I think this is a bit of Liz Cheney coming in, wanting to give the poke to Dr. Orange. And of course, this would also be Pelosi as well, or any kind of prominent female leader connected with the law and justice and things being accurate and concise.
You know, so it also could be a little bit of that one. He's got that deposition that he's got to do in that case.
Yes.
That
forgot about that.
Coming up, and he's supposed to have that deposition. I think it's within this week or something.
Yeah.
Soon. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. He's got that deposition coming up. So his as your cards, even though I couldn't see your cards, but I heard them read wonderfully. And as you read them out, I knew what you pulled. I was like, oh, okay. So his Wheel of Fortune is changing. But when we look at this is not, when we take all these cards together, this is not someone who is having this rejuvenation.
No.
This is someone that is, you know, again, delusional, coming out with false offers. That false offer is starting to die on the, you know, people, there will still be people pleading, because of course in this card you do have the Pope who's trying to plead, but they're trampled underfoot, you know, having to make, not wanting to make choices, having difficult choices to make over legal situations where females in particular are going to be scrutinizing Trump. And I think Liz Cheney is so looking forward to absolutely grilling him. She's probably getting the coals ready and a few trellises to, you know.
The recipe section out.
Absolutely. So we have that hour has just gone, Lady G. I'm sorry, it's vanished.
I know, it's just
it is just gone in a flash. So what I want to say to everyone, goodness knows how this video is going to turn out, because I've not been able to, since my screens are frozen and they're still there, I've not been able to see all of the comments going past and up. So I want to say a thank you for staying with us. Hopefully this is just a set of frozen screens. Thank you to anyone that donated, and sorry if we weren't able to acknowledge you, but literally the chat is frozen. And but thanks so much for being here with us. When I looked in my frozen screen, it's over 500 people here, but it could be more. I wouldn't know, because it's frozen. But thank you anyway for being here with us. I think that was I liked how everything dovetailed one into the other quite neatly. And at least we could finish on a more positive slant, in the sense of, does it mean Duck Larange, 45, is going to be thrown into jail immediately? I would say no, because when I looked at his chart, it was looking more like 2023. But he really needs some crucial wins now. If he has any more defeats, I think it's just a downward slope. And I think there's this thing going on in Virginia. where I think the Democrat is ahead, and he said if Trump or if Trump's candidate wins, that would put wind in the sails for Trump. But if he doesn't, I think that really will be the death grip, and we'll start to see this in continual spiraling down. The cards are basically looking like they're saying it might be up for him in terms of his good luck, but you never know. Like I said, never underestimate this guy. He is a lunatic.
Yes.
And he's desperate. He's desperate. Right. Okay. So thanks, folks, for so much for being with us. And we will see you next week. Hopefully, Dianne will be feeling better. So let's send light and healing energy to Dianne. Dianne, if you're watching, if you're able to, I hope that your sinuses clear up and stuff like that. I hope you get lots of rest. Sending light, love and light. And we will see you next week, everyone. Cheers.
Yes, hopefully it's HoDiGa Day next week.
Yes, yes. But, I think we do well, don't we? I think we do well, lady. Don't we? We hold it up. We hold it up
make it through. Exactly. We push through. Whether it's HoDiGa Day or HoDiGa, it's all good.
Exactly. It's all good. So much love, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. And we'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
If I can end the broadcast, I might not be able to end the broadcast because it's frozen, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to do it. How did I do it last time? It's just come to me. I'm like, I can't end the broadcast.
I don't remember how you did it last time.
I think last time I went in on my phone, which I'm going to do now. I went in on my phone. Let me see if I've got the thing open already. And I think I ended it that way. Mercury retrograde, folks, like I said, it really does affect me strongly. So let's go in here. So it's saying it's still live. Can I get in?
We're still live, yes.
Let's do here. Enter studio. So I'm entering. You might hear some weird noises. Enter studio. And then I'm going to click end, and maybe that will do it.
Echo, everyone.